You're watching the Totally Awesome Fishing Show.
And this is how to catch carp in winter.
Listen.
Welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. We are here at Thorpe Lea Fishery in Surrey, a nice 18-acre day ticket fishery. We've got our guest blogger, Tommy Flower, absolutely on fire at the moment. He is piling in the carp. He's had 7 since about 6 o'clock last night. 7 carp, 320s. We don't know what he's feeding these things, but he is absolutely flying.
They're coming to take him away.
Well, yeah, in an ambulance, yeah. We just got here. Pretty noisy. We're right by the M3. It's about 20 yards to my right, so I'm having to shout a bit.
You think the M3's bad? Every 4 minutes we're in the line of the takeoff from Heathrow runway. So guys, it's going to be a noisy one, but I tell you what, the way Tommy Flower's fishing is going to be worth listening to. Let's get down and see where he's fishing. Don't believe it, Tommy? As we walked up.
18, 8. It's the 10th fish of the session.
10 fish?
Yeah, it's manic.
That's 24 hours. It's not even 24
Not
hours.
even 24 hours?
24 hours, literally 12 hours, if that.
Oh, let's have a look at this one.
All bay mirrors so far. Don't think there's that many commons in there. But, another nice looking fish.
Nice fat one too.
Yeah, all been sort of same stamp. Sort of out of the 10 fish, there's been nothing smaller than 16. 320s. Been pretty good. I think 12 runs in total, sorry.
12 runs. And we're not even 10:30 in the morning yet. Crazy fishing.
Oh, it's been absolutely mental.
Just tell us a bit about your rod and reel there, what you've got, what's your setup?
It's a standard sort of medium pit reel.
Yeah.
A 3-pound test curve rod. Little bit, it's more of a distance rod than anything, but it's nice soft action tip as well.
And pound line, what sort of pound?
15-pound breaking strength.
15 pound. How far are you casting your baits out?
Roughly 70 yards.
Just off the edge of that island there?
Yeah, about 2 rod lengths past the island roughly. So we're just on the back of the bar. Finally got the fish in the net. I need to break it down now, making sure you don't damage the net, and more importantly, don't damage the fish. Before you lift any carp out of the water, you want to make sure you check that all his fins are flush with his body, so you don't damage any of them. As you can see, they're all flush with the body. And nothing's going to get thrown. Although this one wants to stay in the water. As we're unhooking the fish has got another rig in its mouth. So tuck so it's nice and safe and don't go over it.
Pretty much standard procedure using these waste-lings for big fish now, Tommy?
Yeah, there's so many times you sort of, well, one you say I just got a tear in the net then, but you want to keep the fish nice and in good nick really. You don't want to be battering them about, so everything's well padded, well protected. There's nothing that can tear the fish or catch on it. It's just simple fish kill.
The moment of truth. Oh, who said 22? Both of us.
Is that where it's gone?
Yeah, 22. Just get him on. Absolutely on the nose.
Biggest fish in the session.
Biggest one. What's that? The fourth 20.
Fourth 20.
Now Tommy, you're having a bit of a blinding session at the moment. You've had a good number of carp. Now I see here we've got some maggots, we've got some PVA bag by the look of it, and some pink pop-ups. Just talk to me a bit about the rig you're using. Let's talk bait first.
Yeah, the bait I'm using at the minute is I've been fishing, well, put out quite a bit of maggots with a spom, and then all I'm fishing is a little tiny bag of mesh maggots in conjunction with little bright pink pop-up on a KD rig. All you want to do with that, I've been hooking it straight on. Now it goes, the bag will split, the pop-up will sit just above them, and as the carp comes in to suck the maggots, it's going to take the pop-up with it. Then it'll be going in my net. So the pop-ups I've been using are the new Bank Bug R1s in the pink, so they're quite a fishy smell. But obviously there's carp are loving them. I've had an absolute blinding session.
Now Tommy, we had a chat earlier about the pound line you were using and the rods and things like that. Are you using a braided hook link, is that what I see?
Yeah, the rig I'm using at the minute is pull the semi-stiff. It's got a sort of stiff outer coating, which you strip back, leaving a supple bit of braid. The braking strainer, that's £15 again. And simply all you want to do. A good tip with it is when you do it, steam it, and it kicks out nice and stiff, acting as quite a stiff bone, kicking the hook bait away from the lead. Then you've got a nice supple bit, little bit of putty just to pin it all down, and away you go.
Now I heard you mention about putty there. I see this little tub here. What exactly is this for?
All that is, it's lead putty. The loads of different makes make it. Get in a little solid block, literally tear a bit off. What you want to do is wrap that around your rig material, and it will slowly it'll keep everything pinned down nicely to the lake bed.
Right, so we talked about the hook link and the bait and the hook, a bit of putty. What sort of lead are you using? I know nowadays it's all carp safe. Just tell me a bit about the leads and the lead system.
Yeah, the lead I'm using at the minute is simply it's a 3.5 ounce lead, so quick design there. The swivel I've been using is a little size 11, but with a big ring swivel. I know a lot of people want it to be as though it's a bolt rig, but I prefer running. So what happens is a little swivel go inside the leg clip and be able to run free once the fish pick it up.
So that's why you chose to do that small swivel, right?
Yeah, that's the reason for the small swivel.
Yeah.
The actual leg clip itself.
Just tell us how this works. This lead
all
clip
it is,
system.
you've got your clip that your leg clips onto, and then a little towel rubber. One tip is always make sure you've wet this first.
And what's that for? Why is that? Why do you do that?
Just otherwise the grip of the towel rubber, when the fish, well, on the off chance the fish does get snagged and your line breaks, you don't want it sitting there with that it won't pull off. If you literally make sure it's really wet.
So it's to make it more safe.
Yeah, it's so when the fish is there, it's going to pull up and pull out.
I see, and then so the lead drops free, and then you're directly onto the fish, then, aren't you?
Well, yeah, it's more to do with if you actually snap off or something like that, and the fish gets tethered.
Yeah.
You don't want it tying around a 3.5 ounce lead. It ain't going to do it no favours. With the leg clip, make sure everything falls away free, and you're away. But that's another reason for the running rig. If this doesn't work, the line snaps, that'll pull straight away as well.
So we're back end of December now. With the winter carping, what sort of size hooks would you be using?
A lot of people say in the winter you want to scale everything down, little tiny hooks, little tiny baits. But as I say, this session I've had proves you don't need to do that. The hook I'm using is a size 6 curve shank with a tiny little 10mm bait. The bait ain't even as big as the hook. Yet the fish ain't worrying about it. I'm getting runs within seconds of putting it back out. So say I'd rather fish a big hook and land every fish that I hook than fish a small hook and run the possibilities of losing one.
Right, so we talked about the rig. Let's just get back onto the bait again a minute. So we've got a PVA mesh here with some maggots in. Just tell me how you would tie this and why you would tie. I see this is quite a small one. Why would you tie such a small one?
The reason behind the small bags is simply to make it more aerodynamic and be able to cast that little bit further, especially with the crosswind we've got at the minute. It's just going to put you off target otherwise if you use anything bigger. So best way to do them, little funnel web, mesh, the tube comes with it.
Is that a knot you've tied at the bottom end there then, just to seal that?
All that is, little overhand granny knot, pulls tight, keeps the bottom in, and just a little handful of maggots, there's them in. You would normally use a plunger with these, but the maggots tend to get stuck in the thing. So if you simply just tip them down and just keep plunging it with the actual tube. So once the maggots in the bottom of the bag, it's not that tight. All you need to do, 2 fingers either side, and just knead them down into a tight little ball. And again, another overhand knot, pulls around. So you get it like that, you can pull it tight so you ain't got no loop. Hold the knot, pull it tight again. There you go, that's all you need.
And breaking down speeds, how far? I know it's winter now, so breakdown's a bit slower, would it be? Cold conditions?
I think with actual mesh bags, it don't tend to matter. It's sort of as soon as it's in, you've maybe got 10-15 seconds on the deck, and then that's open.
And that sits around, and then your pop-up's sat just above there.
Yeah, what I'll do with the actual rig, pick it up, is instead of nicking inside the bag, you're going to either hook the maggots or pop them, which is going to melt the PVA. If you leave yourself a little tag end on the end, and simply nick it in there, and away you go. And all that pop-up will do, once that bag melts, it'll sit up. The little boilie stop on top keeps it in place. That'll sit up above the hook, above the maggots. The fish will come in, suck the whole lot in, and where it's a critically balanced bait, it'll fly straight in the fish's mouth.
Now I hear you say about critically balanced. I hear the word critically balanced used a lot in the carp world. Can you just describe for us beginners like me exactly what critically balanced actually is?
Critically balanced, all it is basically either a pop-up bait or a wafter bait, which is made slightly less buoyant. You want it basically to sink under the weight of the hook. So when the hook's there, the hook should be laying down and the pop-up should be sitting freely. This basically just negotiates the weight of the hook so that it flies in the fish's mouth a lot easier.
Now, talking about bait, I know a lot of people, and you were saying earlier about people scaling down the size of their rigs and things like that. A lot of people put in a lot less bait. What are your views on, casting out there? Do you spod over the top? How do you bait your swim? What do you do?
Well, it all depends on what sort of venue you're fishing. If you're fishing a big low stock water, you obviously don't want to go and fill in loads of bait, especially this time of year. The metabolism's a bit slow, they're not going to want to eat it all. The water we're on today, the stock's over 3,000 fish. There's that many fish in here. If you can get the bait going and get them on it, you can seriously have it. When I first got here, all I did, I cast out a little bag, just as we were setting up, managed to nick one, no more bites came. Got the spom out, literally put out about 30 spoms of maggots. Within seconds of the last one going out, rods are back on, straight away, double hook up, I think 10 minutes after. Just the more bait we kept going in, the more fish wanted to come.
Yeah, so it's not just a case of what people say, oh, don't put so much bait in the winter,
no.
You're gonna overfeed your swim. It's just a case of if they're biting, keep feeding them.
Yeah, basically it's reading what's happening out in front of you. If there ain't no fish showing, if you've got no indication, as I say, when we first here, we was getting plenty of liners, so you know the fish was in the area. If you've not got no indication, there's no fish in front of you, there's no point keep filling it in. Maybe a little bright bait, single hook bait, something like that, you might pick one up passing by. Yeah, but then if you do know, as we've got them here, we had 3 fish I think within 10 minutes earlier, you know they're in front of you, you've got to keep that bait going in to hold them.
You just mentioned there about liners and the line bites. You said you were told to cast 70 yards out, but you found that you actually get quite a few line bites. What did you do then to change that when you were getting those line bites?
Yeah, in this swim I think everyone sort of tends to fish 80 yards out. It sort of shallows up quite a bit and it's the most productive area in the swim supposedly. Started off fishing there, kept finding that we was getting the odd blips and things like that. Weren't too sure whether it was round the hook, carried on, then a few started showing a little bit further back. With the amount of fish showing, we should have had something, so we knew they weren't on the actual hook bait. Dropped it back, I think 10 minutes after dropping it back onto the area, again ripped straight off. It's literally, you got to find where the fish are. It's okay people telling you do this, do that, but at the end of the day it's your session, you need to work at it to earn your rewards.
Now I know we're fairly mild towards the end of December, but a lot of people can't fish all the way through winter. It does get pretty cold. What do you do to prepare for these sort of fishing sessions? Yeah,
the weather can be a right turn in any session. You could be having as many fish as you can catch. As soon as it gets cold or you get wet and damp, you just don't want to be here. You won't enjoy yourself. Tips simply, well, the best tip I've got, my girlfriend laughs, but I got a onesie bought for me. Swore I'd never wear one. Make the perfect underlayer under your clothes. Secondly, a few different pairs of socks. It's more about layers, building your layers on yourself. As I say, there's so many companies out there now that makes decent all-weather clothes. Just go and find the best deal you can get, really. Make sure you got your gloves, your hats, decent pair of wellies, keep your feet dry. That's the worst thing in the world, having wet feet. So as long as you've got a decent bivvy, your sleeping bag, cups of tea on the go 24/7, you should be warm. As I fished up to -8 last year. As long as you got all your gear with you, you got warm food, warm drinks, warm clothes, you enjoy yourself, even if there ain't no fish. So the bites are dried up again, so I think it's time to put some more bait out. The way I'm going to get the maggots out is with the little mini spawn. Literally, you've all probably heard of spods. All this does, it encloses everything. You don't get no spillage, so you don't end up pulling the fish away from your spot. Nice, and fill that up. Make sure there ain't nothing sticking out the side because it tends to catch and open on the cast. Once that's filled, simply clips back in place and away you go. Right, keeping the bait going in again. So you only mini these, so roughly I'll do about 10 after a couple fish. The clever thing about these is you don't get no spillage, it ain't open, it's all solid. As soon as it hits the water, the button opens and drops everything underneath.
So what, Tommy, just describe what we've got down here, this purple thing here.
Right, that's the cornerstone. It's a bit different to your normal bobbin. Where the line would normally run through it. This has got an actual line clip. So all you want to do is put it in and then it holds tight onto your line.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more sensitive, I feel, than normal bobbins, because if it pulls up and stays where it is, you know your actual lead's moved. If it pulls up and falls straight back like to its original position, you know it's just a liner.
Just show us how it works then.
If something's picking it up, it runs away.
Yeah.
Pulls away like that. If something runs towards you, obviously it's going to fall away.
So you can instantly tell if the carp's coming towards you or going away from you, just from looking at that little purple stick.
And normally, if you get in sort of, at the moment I've got quite a few fish out there, so they're brushing the line and everything else.
Yeah.
Instead of actually holding up, it would normally hold up and then fall back to its original position, letting you know the lead hasn't moved.
So you know that's just a fish brushing across your line then?
This is mad.
Another fish. Number 12, is this?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, number 12. 13 runs, lost 1, 12 fish. Hopefully 12 fish.
What do you reckon this one's going to go, Tommy?
16, 17 pound, I reckon.
Another double figure carp from Thorpe Lea Fishery. What do we reckon, Tommy? Do you say again? What do you reckon it's going to go?
16, 17 pound.
16.
Roughly. I think that's 4 fish this morning in about 2 hours, if that.
It's crazy fishing here. Absolutely crazy.
As you would say, it's totally awesome.
It is totally awesome, definitely, that's the word. We're what, sort of middle to back end of December coming up. It's still quite mild temperatures, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's almost as though you're fishing in autumn again.
Yeah.
It's really good, really. See what the score says.
Yeah, what's going at? What's that saying? 16 on the nose by the look of it.
16?
Yeah.
It's not bad. 12 fish, not one fish has been under 16. So
Yeah, small.
4 20s now. And rest all 17, 18, 19. It's been mad. Just want to pour a bit of water on him, keep him hydrated. Not too much and not too high. Some people tend to stand well above it, pour it straight into the gills. Trust me, it does the fish no favours. Perfect way to hold them. Roll them back onto your forearms. Hand under the anal fin, fingers round the pec, and he's ready to go.
What a fish, lovely. Hopefully get some good underwater footage of that. We'll just get a quick still photo and then we'll release him.
Well, I've got to stop that fish kiting around the island.
So what are you doing there holding the rod to the side? What does that do?
Just trying to turn the fish. Well, I'm fishing just past the island. It's trying to run round the back of it, which will cause me problems. This way, as I've done now, I've just managed to turn his head.
So you're guiding that fish away from that island?
Yeah. As long as he's come back this side of it, we're in the clear again. As long as we don't pick up the other line, that is.
It's quite bending, that one.
Yeah, this one's putting off a bit of a scrap. So most of them sort of gave up the ball and come straight in, but this one wants to go.
How does this measure up to your winter carp fishing at other venues? How would you rate Thorpe Lea for winter?
If you want to bend in your rod and you want to catch some good average size fish, then it's definitely on top of the list.
It's the place to come, isn't it?
Yeah, as I say, we've been here less than 24 hours. This is my 14th run. I think I've landed 12 fish, I've had 4 20s, nothing under 16. So it's totally awesome fishing.
That really is totally awesome fishing. And I don't think you can see on this camera, but Graeme is over there on the opposite bank. Do you see him, a little speck in the lens there? Do these fish tend to go right towards this island over there?
Well, when you first pick them up, they've tended to want to kite round the back of it.
Yeah.
But then once you get them sort of this way, the water drops down to about 20 foot. So instead of running, they're diving down deep, which makes planning a bit easier, really. Another nice looking fish.
And you said there's mostly mirrors you've had so far, is it?
Yeah, not had one common yet.
No common, just all mirrors.
So the average stamp has been upper doubles.
Yeah, it's good solid average stamp, isn't it?
Yeah.
Of carp.
Yeah, you can't really beat it, I don't think.
They've all got their autumn colours in them now.
This one's not a bad looking fish either.
You've got all your net there ready. Is that just to be proactive, really, and just have your net ready?
Especially at the minute, the runs are coming so quick. You want everything to hand. You don't want to be flapping around, really. And I'd say that's possibly another 20 in the net.
That looks like another big carp. Look at the size of that. Animal carp, that is.
Another big fish.
That's a lovely big fish, isn't it, that one? Right, let's get him on the mat, get him weighed.
Another chunk.
That's another chunky carp.
Exactly where you want your hook, right in the middle of the bottom lip.
That is nicely hooked, that one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pop the hook out, there's the rig. All still intact, referee. How often do you need to change that pop-up? Would you keep it on for quite a while, or?
I change my hook more than I'd want to change the pop-up. The hook gets blunt really quickly. So it's more about making sure you've got a sharp hook. And as long as your bait's doing exactly what it's meant to do, then there's no reason to change it.
Would you would you resharpen hooks, or do you like new fresh hooks as you open the packet?
I'd like to.
Because some people are against it, aren't they?
And to be honest, they want out the packet. Even some of them I've sharpened in the past. Yeah. Because they ain't been that sharp. I reckon maybe 22 again, 23.
Absolutely, got a real gut on it, this one, hasn't it?
Yeah, solid fish.
Yeah.
Absolute solid fish.
So this could be what, the fourth 20?
This would be the fifth 20.
Fifth 20.
Which one scales are zeroed? See what they say.
Clear off the bottom there. What are we saying? 22 and a half, 23 pounds. 23 pounds.
Biggest fish of the session again.
Biggest fish.
That'll do.
Absolute chunk of a carp, that one.
It's a nice looking fish.
Yeah. We'll definitely get a few stills of this one.
Yep. So there's it. Get a bit of water over him. Don't want to pour it directly into the gills. Just keep his body nice and wet. A lot of people you don't see bothering. So if you come Thorpe Lea, you want to change your clothes because you get absolutely covered.
Yeah.
Is he going to behave now? There we go.
Look at that.
Lovely looking fish. £23. So 5th 20 of the session. 14th fish overall, I think.
That is a totally awesome carp. Let's get some shots of that. Maybe get some underwater footage and get those baits back out.
Yeah, definitely.
Guys, it's getting ridiculously silly now. I'm around the other side. Mike's just called me. We left Tommy with that 22-pounder. He's got an even bigger one, 23 pounds. I can't believe this, like 5 20s he's had. I've got to run around the lake now, get a shot of this one, go back in the water, and it's a lovely condition fish too. Let's go.
Well guys, it's been absolutely crazy fishing over there on peg 45. Tommy is absolutely ploughing the carp in, fish after fish. He barely casts out, and then there's another one in. We haven't got enough film on the chip.
We've not bought any totally awesome fishing rods. Anyway, we're just gonna have a little break. We had to come back to the car. Got to get food and grub and everything like that. But while we're here, the owner's here, and that's Gary Beale, who runs this fishery. He'll give us an insight, and he'll tell you a lot more information, because listen, this is, well, it appears to me to be an absolute top-class day ticket fishery. It's not private, it's not syndicate, it's not club, it's a day ticket fishery. It's nothing secret, anybody can fish here. We've got the secret. His name's Tommy Flowers. First, let's go and see what Gary has to say about the fishery. Gary, I've been really impressed. We're just having a break in the fishing between our man Tommy Flowers over, he's pounding them out. I think we're going to run out of film the way we're going at the moment. So can we sit down and just run through some of the stuff when the guys come on a day ticket, the facilities that you offer?
Well, the facilities we offer here are, you know, we've got toilets, showers. Basically how we work on here, it's a day ticket. It's £12 per angler.
Yeah.
Disabled juniors £9.
Now that £12, Gary, is that a set period of the day or something like that, or
Yeah,
a number of hours?
Yeah, basically it's how long since different times of the year. Like in the summer, we sort of lock the gates at sort of 7 o'clock. Everyone who's in here is locked in for the night. If there's an emergency, we got on, you know, bailiff on site all the time to let you out. But it's just, so basically if you get here at 7 in the morning, your tickets for 7 o'clock that day. Any time in the day, there's no sort of half day tickets. It's, you know,
it's a full day ticket.
Yeah, it's a full day. Yeah, that's it.
And you do a 24-hour or a night ticket or something?
Yeah, we do an overnight ticket, which is like from 5:30, well, from 5 o'clock I think it is, till 7 the next morning, which is £15. You know, we do 24 hours. It works out 24, 36, 48. It goes up in the 12s. We don't like add an hour and, you know, add in that hours. Just.
So Gary, what's roughly your basic rules here, you know, for guys, so they know before they come they're not going to get into trouble, they know exactly what the score is?
Yeah, basically most of our rules are common sense. I mean, we don't allow any sacking, any keep nets of any sort. You know, as soon as you caught a fish, it gets released, put back in. You know, you've got to have a large unhooking mat, 42-inch landing net. You know, most of the fish are sort of £16 upwards, so decent sized fish, so you've got to treat them right. I mean, with barbed hook rule, you know, we found with Cemex and that, which it was before, found that the barbed hook stays in place rather than move about in the fight, which destroys them.
Now, is this what, I'm going to say that, is this what is wearing a carp's mouth for a lot of commercial fisheries?
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, you know, I've never used a barbless hook, but, you know, it does move in and out. I've seen them where they've stitched the mouths, where they've gone through. Yeah. Like, you know, with that little barb, it just holds it in where it's got to be. Yeah, in position. Yeah, it's a little bit harder to get out, but nothing, you know, the minimal damage you get by removing it is nothing compared to something.
And you don't have any bans on braid hook links? I know some places banning, is it braid or braid hook links?
Yeah, we don't allow any braided main line.
Main lines?
Yeah, main line. Hook links are all fine. We allow lead core leaders and leaders. We don't allow any braided leader.
Why no braid line? Just what is that about?
We just find, like, you know, the braid on the carp, it doesn't give them, you know, any stretch or whatever. It's just bang straight on them, and, you know, if a fish does get tethered, you know, they've just got no fight without, you know, we will go out and pull something out with our hand. You know, with a pair of gloves, the line will snap. With the braid, it goes straight through the gloves. So it's just one of them things that, you know, I use it pike fishing. You know, when you finicky little bites, but I don't really want it on there.
Okay, now just run me through quickly about the depths on the lake. I see you've got a chart. You've actually got a map with all the pegs marked on there. What's the average depth? You know, are there shallow areas here?
Yeah, I mean, basically, sort of anywhere along the car park bank, we call it. That this side, you've got sort of a couple of rod lengths out. It drops to 13 foot most of the way across. I mean, it goes. The deepest part is out in front of 45 and 44 area, which goes down to certain times of the year it's 21 foot.
Oh, it's deep then. It's a deep areas there.
Yeah, most of the time it's sort of like in the summer it's 18 foot, never goes below that. Right through the middle of the lake.
Much weed in there at all?
There's a bit of siltweed.
Yeah.
There's this is the first year we've had the weed. Which it's good, you know, it's turning into a fishing lake now rather than a gravel pit, as you know. There is a bar that runs right through the middle, which averages between 2 and 6 foot different times a year. Which is like a hot spot for the fish. But you know, it is really like an egg box. There's a lot. I mean, our map that's on the wall that you'll see a little bit later shows you quite a lot of definitions of what depths there are. You know, by looking at the map, an aerial view of the map, which is really good. But you know, anyone wants to know anything, all they have to do is ask us at the office. We point them where they're going.
Okay. You know. What about your stock? Let's hear about this head of stock, most of which Tommy seems to be catching. But what is he like? I understand you've got a phenomenal number in here.
Yeah, I mean, basically it was stocked in 2004 with 2,500 fish from Drayton Reservoir. There was fish in here before because I'd fished it before. That obviously before Cemex had it. There's sort of a lot of grow-ons in there, small ones this year. It's hard to sort of know exactly, the amount that is in here at the moment.
But a good average size by all accounts.
Yeah. I mean, you don't really catch a lot under £16 now.
Top end? What do they expect on the top end? What's your big fish?
Well, the biggest one we've had out was 37.7.
Wow, that's a good one.
We've had 26 different 30s out this year.
26 different 30s?
Yeah, 26 different 30s.
Because this is not really a giant water. What's the acreage on this?
It's 18 acres.
18 acres, so there's plenty of scope for running into one of those. Now, any bait restrictions at all you've got here?
Basically, we don't allow any nuts of any type.
Sure.
Like a lot of people, they're bringing sort of all the pigeon food and that, and I just say that, that is for your pigeons.
Is that what they're using now?
Pigeon conditioner. I mean,
why is that? Because it's cheap?
It's cheap, yeah, and it's just, everything I allow on here, if it comes in a jar and it's prepared properly, then all okay. If you've got something that you're not sure about and you've prepared it all yourself, all you've got to do is ask me or one of my members of staff to check it all. If it crumbles in your fingers, that lot, it's all good. If it's hard and it ain't split, and our fish are going to eat it, because we've got some right gannets out there that might eat half a kilo in a couple of minutes and swell up and be in right trouble. It's all pure common sense. Do you know what I mean?
Other facilities you got here, you got some tackle and baits. It looks like you sell as well.
Yeah, I mean basically we try and cater for all your terminal tackle. We do quite a few bits, but a lot of the tackle shops locally, they don't open till 9 o'clock in the morning, and as we open at sort of 7, it's nice to sort of, if someone comes in, guys, barbed, looks, I haven't got any, then we've got them here rather than then go away and have to try and track stuff down.
You don't want them wasting their fishing day, effectively.
No, exactly. I mean, we don't overcharge on anything. All of ours is, so that's all affordable.
It's bearable.
Yeah, that's
now
it,
listen, something before we go back and see Tommy, see if he's got another one. I talked to another angler around here, and he gave me a shocking figure. Somebody had caught 90 carp, was it? Or two people caught 90 carp in a 24-hour period. What's your big numbers in the summer? We're here doing a winter fishing one. But what is it like when it's really on fire? What is ridiculous fishing?
Yeah, I mean, you get some people that come up and they tell you a story. They've had 120 fish, and I mean, I lose count when I fish myself if I've had 12 or 13. Because it's one of them things that you're not really marking it down on the pad.
Sure. It's
in the head. But we had a couple of young lads. I know one of them was Bryson Bell, and I can't remember the other lad's name, but they had like 96 fish or something.
90. I know these are big carp. These are not like 3-pounders.
But these lads were young. They were fit and keen. They was just, as one rod come in, another one went out.
They got
a system set up. Yeah, they was like proper, real good match anglers. I mean, free spots I'm worn out. Do you know what I mean? But them guys,
that's unbelievable. So you got a huge carp here. Gary, thanks very much, and fingers crossed we get to see a few more fish before we leave.
Yeah.
So it started to go quiet, no more activity in the swim, weren't getting no liners. So with that, another 10 spawns of maggot it. As soon as it went back out, cast the rod back straight away, within minutes, it was back again. It's literally all you need to do is just keep when they're in front of you, keep that bait trickling in, little and often, and get them competing. As soon as you've got them competing for the food, they'll slip up. As I say, as this one's doing there, and now it wants to go on a run. So playing that up a back line, just simply so I can control what I give him rather than what he wants to take. With that, I think he'll go to. He still wants to go. In the middle of December, most people by now have hung their rods up, sitting at home, maybe watching fishing. But as it shows, if you get out on the bank, choose your venue right, you can have a good session. This is my 16th run in a 24-hour period. I've had 5 20s, nothing under 16, so I'll be happy with this session in the middle of summer, let alone in the middle of December. This fish does not want to give up. But when you're fishing for any specimen fish, you've got to make sure you've got the right equipment. So the net I'm using at the minute is a 50-inch net, catered for easily up. Well, I've had fish up to 56 pound in it. So too many people use too smaller gear. It's just not capable of dealing with the fish they're trying to catch. Does not want to give up. And here she comes. Another good 20, could even possibly be the biggest one of the session. Lovely looking fish, lovely scale pattern on it.
It's like 22 on the nose again.
22,
might be an ounce under. That's about an ounce under, I'd say that one, Tommy.
Well, it's 21.15.
Well, Tommy's just had his 6th 20 there, and the weather looks like it might be on the change a little bit now. It's certainly getting a bit colder. We're going to get this fish back, get a still from it, get it back, and just see, can he catch any more? Does it matter? I think not. There can't be many left in the lake now.
Got the colder stow clips on that. All I want to do, clip my line into my little line clip. Just gives a nice pivot point and another fixed point for when the fish run. From there, and away we go.
We just happened to press it then.
Literally been out 2 seconds, off again.
Tommy, do you have some sort of extra licence to be able to fish like this?
I'll tell you, it's well needed. It's a long time coming, good session. So every fish I've had, little tiny bag and maggot and little pink R1 pop up.
So a lot of this is not, it's not like magic, it's just reading the fish and putting the bait in at the right time and stuff like that.
Yeah, as I say, I could have stayed at fishing 80 yards, might have picked a couple up, ignored all the liners I was getting. Yeah, you could have possibly caught. I've come back, I've stopped getting liners, instead I'm getting screaming runs. Yeah. So I've obviously dropped onto the fish.
This is his servant that he employs full time to put the net together in between fish.
This is
and,
the gilly.
And it's gilly, and he baits up as well, doesn't he?
Yep, ties me bags.
And he wears Calvin Klein.
Cool. Girlfriend will be jealous.
17, 16 and a half. I'd say 16 and a half.
Yep,
16 and a half. Yeah.
And what number fish is that?
17, I think.
That's sick. That's sick. You need banning. You need banning.
Yes.
It's still nothing below 16, isn't
Yeah,
it?
nothing
fish
below 16.
PVA stands for polyvinyl alcohol and is water soluble. It's not a new product, as Graeme was using PVA bags for barbel fishing some 40 years ago. That is a long time. But now you can buy PVA in various mesh bag sizes, and it is used to keep a concentrated supply of bait offerings right next to your hook bait. The PVA can dissolve in as short a time as 15 seconds, but it will be slower if used in salt water. As you can see with this PVA bag that Tommy's using, it only takes a short amount of time to break down. You can see the bright pink pop up above it and the maggots, the bait, PVA bag of maggots below it. At least if your cast does go outside your swim, you can leave it there knowing that your hook bait is lying amongst those free samples of maggots.
Well, Tommy, you've had what, 17 carp now?
Yeah, 17 and lost one.
And 6 20-pounders, can you
Yep.
believe, in the winter.
Nothing under 16.
And he's got through so much bait, a gallon of maggots, a 10 metre
10 metre of spool PVA.
tube
It's
of
literally
PVA. So
my
he's out of
last bag.
PVA, so he can't get the maggots out there, and he's going to try this secret stuff, raptor oil for carp. And we're going to dip the whole lot in. Oh, I'm going to run. That's good stuff. It is good stuff. Ask any of the sharks we caught whether they like it or not.
Hopefully I'll catch something the same size as the sharks.
Fingers crossed. Right, let's get it out there. Watch it all flying off. What a good cast, he's right on the money there. You can I'm laughing because you can actually see the slick coming off of that raptor oil. There's a huge slick out there, so the bait was on the right hand side of the slick, and it's taken the top of the oil that's popping up from the bottom to the surface, is going to the left, so you know exactly where you've cast.